Long-distance attacks that lead to a win are one of the greatest things to witness in professional cycling. In recent years, riders like Pogačar and Van der Poel have made this almost a trademark, reminiscent of riders like Claudio Chiappucci. In the Grand Tours, it's been a Hail Mary move, like Andy Schleck's in the 2011 Tour de France. But in 2012, it was Schleck's greatest rival that used a similar move, Alberto Contador. So far in 2012, Contador hasn't raced since February, not due to an injury, but because he was banned due to a clenbuterol doping case. He was banned until August and had his 2010 Tour de France and 2011 Giro d'Italia wins stripped from his results. This meant that, as far as what the history books and pro cycling stats say, is that Contador is now only a 4-time Grand Tour winner. Contador's ban would end 13 days before the start of the 2012 Vuelta a Espana, which means he would come into the race with a massive chip on his shoulder. He's the undisputed leader for Team Saxo Bank Tinkoff, returning after his contract was annulled during the ban. He's certainly not the only contender. Chris Froome is coming into the Vuelta for his first crack at being the dedicated team leader for Team Sky. At the previous year's Vuelta, he was a revelation, finishing second overall. Froome also finished second at this year's Tour de France, while causing friction over leadership at the same time. That won't happen here, as the pressure is firmly on his shoulders. Also lining up is last year's winner, Juan Jose Cobo, whose overall win was something of a surprise. He jumped over to Team Movistar off the back of his GC victory, and will be co-leading with the legendary Alejandro Valverde. The last contender is Joaquim Rodriguez, second at this year's Giro d'Italia, and someone who will take full advantage of the brutal, steep climbs on this year's route. For the first 16 stages of the Vuelta, Rodriguez is beating everyone. Contador attacks and attacks, but Rodriguez beats him every single time, taking time bonuses that are on offer at the finishing line, stacking these small wins to build a lead. Even the long time trial on stage 11 isn't enough for Contador to move into first, and Rodriguez holds onto the leader's jersey by a second. He'll head into the rest day after stage 16 with a 28-second lead over Contador. But here's the thing about Rodriguez, something that Contador and his team know. Rodriguez feels sore legs the day after a rest day. In interviews, Rodriguez revealed that he had slept the whole morning, slept in the afternoon, and slept all night, but hadn't ridden his bike. And the general consensus in the peloton before the start of stage 17 was that the battle for the GC had ended. Bjorn Ries, the team manager, used this to motivate the Saxo Bank riders. And it worked. Stage 17 has 2 medium climbs, with the second occurring just 60 kilometers from the end of the stage, which ends at the top of Fuente Day, a long, steady climb. That second medium climb, a Category 2, was almost ignored by Saxo Bank's director sportif Bradley McGee when he was scouting the route months ago. When he did turn back to look at it, he noticed something. McGee realized that the downhill lended itself to launching an attack. As the stage gets underway, the first 80 kilometers are fast. A breakaway eventually manages to escape, and inside that group are teammates for both Contador and Valverde. Nearing the top of the climb, Contador attacks, unseen by TV cameras, because no one expected this one bit. Over the next kilometers, Contador gets assists from his teammates, and from a former teammate in Paulo Terlongo, a move that would see Terlongo be gifted a win on stage 19. Meanwhile, Rodriguez is bleeding time on the final ascent, suffering on a climb that suits Contador far more. Valverde, in fact, also benefits from this. He almost closes in on Contador, with help from young Nairo Quintana towards the end of the climb. The Contador was a man on a mission, going deeper into the pain cave than we'd ever seen him go before. When he crossed the finish line, taking the most dramatic win of his career, Contador celebrated not with his trademark salute, but a roar and his fists in the air. A rare, true outpouring of emotion. A man shrugging off the demons that had been on his back for months. The commentator called the stage historic, and he was completely correct. The Contador himself admitted that it was a kamikaze attack, and it put him into the overall lead. Rodriguez, at the end of the stage, was reflective of it all. Quote, "That's what we're here for. Sometimes we win, sometimes we don't, but it's sport. This stage will make history, and I'm proud to be a part of it." Contador has demonstrated that he's the strongest, and his team as well. Contador would go on to win the Vuelta, crossing the finish line in Madrid, holding up 7 fingers, representing his 7th Grand Tour win as far as Contador was concerned. Beyond that, this stage was a ride of panache, of heart, a moment of real racecraft, not just a battle of watts. This wouldn't be the last of Contador's dramatic Vuelta stage wins, but that's another video.